Hello, thanks for joining Aso Briefing today. I am Joy Annie. Our top stories. FCT project renewed hope agenda and 2027 politics. Barrister Wike speaks. And still on project inspection, FCT Minister Barrister Wike Chia inspects Dafa Gomani Pai Road project. NYSC reaffirms commitment to agribusiness development. And on business, CBN affirms financial inclusion will hit 95% by 2028. You're watching Aso Briefing. We are live on the TV channel 392, also on Star Times TV channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. We'll now take you through all our stories. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, says Abuja is ready for the commissioning of key infrastructure project lined up to mark President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's third year in office. Following an inspection of completed and ongoing project, including the Bazango Road, popularly known as Arab Road, the minister expressed satisfaction with the quality of road and work and the positive impact on residents. He also highlighted the benefits of the renewed hope agenda and commented on recent development within the opposition coalition ahead of the 2027 general elections.
Yes, that of course, the minister will come to them to change their lives as he promised, that things were bad before now, things are getting better. They never believed that they could have this road. They never believed, they never had any impact on government or governance before. They are hearing government, don't know what government means. But now, they can really know what government is all about. Changing their life, bringing good things to them. So it makes us happy too, that they are all happy. That the essence of the New Hope agenda. Try to make people believe that things will come back what is supposed to be. So we continue to do what to make the people happy. After all, governance is all about improving the lives of people, changing their lives to better. That's the essence of governance. So we are happy, and then we continue to do better, improve on more things, bring more things to them. I think this is what's expected of government, and in the hope is really working. This morning, during my media chat, I did say there's no coalition. All you see is personal, selfish interests. Personal, selfish interests. The moment they quarrel with the leadership of a country, or they've not gotten what they want, they all gather together and say, this government is not doing well, we are the face of the new people, we are the ones that will give the people the change that they require. They want to make their life better. But you can see today what the Papa Chancellor say, rigging, manipulation, that how can you allow a rigging machine to continue to do what it's been doing, what it's known for, that is allowing Atiku Abubakar. I said in the morning, if you're a politician, you will understand that the structure was set for Elijah Atiku Abubakar. There's no need going to worry yourself to say you want to participate as a coalition party. There's no coalition. We have been vindicated, you have seen it. For Babacha to come out to say that, it means that things are really very bad in their so-called mushroom political parties.
Now, the chairman of Kwali Area Council and the All Progressives Congress APC candidate for Abuja South Federal Constituency, Mr. Danladi Chia, joined the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory FCT, Mr. Nyesom Wike, on an inspection tour of the ongoing Dafa Gomani Pai Road project linking the communities to the Abuja-Lokoja Expressway. The strategic road project, which traverses several communities within Kwali Area Council, is expected to boost transportation, facilitate commercial activities, and improve connectivity between rural communities and major economic corridors within and outside the FCT. Speaking during the inspection, Mr. Chia commended the FCT Minister for his commitment to infrastructural development and rural transformation, describing the project as a clear demonstration of the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu aimed at bringing meaningful development to grassroots communities. The Kwali chairman, who also serves as the chairman of the FCT chapter of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGAN, noted that the road could serve as a vital economic link for farmers, traders and residents by creating new opportunities for economic growth and improving access to markets, healthcare facilities and other essential services. According to him, this road is a lifeline for our farmers, traders and residents. Upon completion, it will significantly reduce travel time, enhance security, ease the movement of goods and services, and stimulate economic growth across our communities. He said they are grateful to the FCT Minister, Barrister Nyesom Wike, for prioritizing these important projects and ensuring that rural communities are not left behind in the development of the FCT. Mr. Chia further stated that the project would open up more communities for investment and agricultural activities, thereby improving the livelihood of residents and contributing to food security in the Federal Capital Territory. The inspection underscores the commitment of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, the FCTA, to open up rural communities through strategic infrastructure projects designed to improve the quality of life of residents, promote inclusive development, and accelerate socio-economic growth across the territory. The chairman of Abaji Area Council, Alhaji Abubakar Umar Abdullahi, has received members of the National Youth Service Corps, the NYSC, Abaji chapter, on a courtesy visit to his office. During the visit, the NYSC members presented the chairman with an award of excellence in recognition of his outstanding leadership, commitment to youth development, and unwavering submit and support for the welfare of corps members serving at Abaji Area Council. The award reflects the appreciation of the NYSC community for the chairman's contribution to creating an enabling environment for youth empowerment, community development, and the successful execution of various community-based initiatives across the area council. Presenting the award, the NYSC representative recommended the chairman for his continual support to corps members, noting that his administration has demonstrated a strong commitment to creating opportunities for young people to contribute meaningfully to national development. Responding, the chairman, Alhaji Abubakar Umar Abdullahi, expressed gratitude to the NYSC members for finding him worthy of the honor. He described the award as a motivation to do more in service to people of Abaji and the youth of the nation. The chairman reaffirmed his administration's commitment to supporting programs and initiatives that promote youth empowerment and development, the education, skills acquisition, and community service. He urged the corps members to remain dedicated, disciplined, and committed to the ideals of the NYSC scheme while contributing positively to the growth and development of their host communities. Alhaji Abubakar Umar Abdullahi further assured the corps members of the council's continued support and welfare, emphasizing that young people remain critical stakeholders in the socio-economic development of the area council and the nation at large. While still on NYSC, the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC Brigadier General Lakunle Nafiu, has reaffirmed the scheme's commitment to advancing agricultural development through innovative and youth-focused initiative. He stated this in Abuja while delivering his address at the launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund, an initiative of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development. The Director General described the launch of the fund as a demonstration of the government's commitment to empowering the next generation of young people in the agricultural sector. Nafiu noted that the NYSC Skill Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development Programs places significant emphasis on agro-allied ventures and entrepreneurship, equipping corps members with the skills and knowledge needed to take advantage of emerging opportunities in agribusinesses. He stated that the initiative would provide core members with opportunities to participate meaningfully in agricultural value chains and contribute to the transformation of Nigeria's agriculture sector. In his remark, the Minister of Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande, said the program would create empowerment opportunities for young Nigerians across the agricultural value chain. He disclosed that the ministry, in collaboration with its partners, was committed to expanding economic and empowerment opportunities for youth nationwide. Highlights of the event include the recognition and celebration of outstanding young agripreneurs for their contribution to agricultural development and innovation. Now, the chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists FCT Council, Comrade Grace Ike, has congratulated Daily Times Nigeria on its centenary anniversary, describing as a testament to the newspaper's enduring contribution to journalism and nation building. That's the report.
Speaking during activities marking the newspaper's 100th anniversary, Ike called on journalists and media organizations across the country to recommit themselves to the core values of truth, fairness, accuracy, and ethical reporting. She noted that Daily Times has played a pivotal role in shaping public opinion, promoting democratic ideals, and strengthening journalism practice in Nigeria for nearly a century.
And at a time when the media landscape is rapidly evolving, the role of credible journalism has become even more important. We want to commend Daily Times for choosing to begin this celebration with a press conference, and particularly here at the NUJ, because the media remains at the heart of public enlightenment and national development. We urge the Daily Times to use this period not only to celebrate the past activities, but to also renew its commitment to excellence, renovation, innovation, and the highest standards of journalism.
Addressing journalists at a media briefing, Anosike described the centenary as a historic milestone for both the newspaper and Nigeria, noting that Daily Times has chronicled the country's political, economic, and social transformation since its establishment in 1926.
Monetize, become big billionaires, and when you say something, they switch you off. That's the world. Nobody looks after you. You have to look after yourself. You have to look after your family. So we as a family, that's why we said, if we are going to start this celebration, we will be starting it from an NUJ platform. Daily Times belongs to the journalists. And I've given her a commitment that we're going to revive, we're going to finish whatever building at the back as folio, as our own contribution, because we have to sing our song. We have to shout for people to understand that the Nigeria you see today is the Nigeria that the media created.
All right? So before Daily Times, you didn't have that. And so Daily Times then became the marketplace for ideas, marketplace for public conversation regarding not just the legacy or what Daily Times presented, but also the future of the country that was to be born later.
Founded in 1926, Daily Times remains one of Nigeria's oldest and most influential newspapers. Its 100th anniversary is being celebrated as a significant milestone in the nation's media history and a reminder of the enduring role of journalism in strengthening democracy and informing citizens.
Now, the federal government has abolished the 3-month pre-retirement leave previously enjoyed by civil servants. The directive was contained in a circular titled Correct Interpretation of Public Service Rule 120243 on pre-retirement activities, issued by the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Didiwo St-Jack. The circular was addressed to top governmental officials, including ministers, permanent secretaries, service chiefs, head of agencies, and other senior public sector administrators. According to the document, ministries and departments and the agencies have been directed to immediately discontinue the practice of placing civil servants on what is commonly referred to as a mandatory 3-month pre-retirement leave. She stated and explained that such a provision does not exist in the public service rules, noting that several MDAs had wrongly interpreted the retirement notice period as an automatic leave period, resulting in the premature withdrawal of officers from active service. Under the clarified public service rules, officers due for retirement are required to give 3 months' notice before their exit date, attend a 1-month pre-retirement workshop or seminar, and use the remaining period to regularize service records and pension documentation. Nigeria's Federal Civil Service Retirement Framework is governed by the Public Service Rules and the Pension Reform Act, with civil servants retiring upon attaining 60 years of age or after 35 years in service, whichever comes first. The head of service said the directive is aimed at standardizing implementation of the rules across government institutions and preventing manpower losses caused by early disengagement or experienced officers. She stressed that the so-called mandatory 3-month pre-retirement leave has no basics in the public service rules. A retiring officer, she said, must give 3 months' notice before their effective date of retirement. This is a notice requirement, not a leave entitlement. Now, when Aso Briefing returns, stories on business and more. Do stay with us.
Some things don't arrive. They've always been. Not for a day, for all of time. Until quietly something shifts. Moving from someday to now. Women are not honored in time. They are woven through it, shaping every story, every voice, every breath. We are because she is, and because tomorrow they will be.
Many thanks for staying there. Now, the Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Professor Ahmed Abubakar Audi, has reiterated that the Corps occupies a unique and irreplaceable position within the nation's security architecture. Professor Audi stated this during the opening ceremony of a 2-day strategic training on implementation of operational deliverables and research methodology held in the Corps headquarters, Sauka, Abuja. Our reporter, Richard Alechenu Ayebe, completes the story.
In his remarks, the NSCDC boss emphasized the Corps' critical mandates, which include safeguarding critical national assets and infrastructure, disaster management, intelligence gathering, and active community engagement. He highlighted the essence of the program, explaining that the initiative reflects management's commitment to strengthen institutional capacity through innovation, technology, and evidence-based decision-making.
This program is designed to explore and promote the adoption of research methodology and digitalization as critical enablers for achieving the core operational deliverables in alignment with the presidential priorities. Like I just said, it is an instruction and a directive by government, and there are some KPIs that have been designed for us to follow, in terms of what we do as per our mandate, and we are expected to do that sequentially and logically.
Professor Audi stressed that modern security challenges require analytical solutions, skills, meaning that personnel must look beyond field competence to identify problems, conduct research, and generate practical solutions. Earlier, the commandant in charge of planning, research, and statistics, Commandant Peter Okluhu, reminded participants that the federal government assesses the NSCDC strictly by its statutory deliverables and charged officers to maintain the highest levels of professionalism in their reporting post-training. Echoing this sentiment, the head of Critical Thinking, Research and Innovation Unit, Dr. Ogushola Folashade, noted that navigating today's dynamic security environment demands a blend of field competence and critical thinking. A major highlight of the workshop was the official induction and administration of the Oath of Allegiance to the newly appointed CRTI DEX officers, conducted by the NSCDC Head of Legal, Commandant Bamiyo Akomolafe. The 2-day intensive training brought together participants from all 36 states command and the Federal Capital Territory, alongside representatives from all directorates, departments, and units at the national headquarters. Richard Allechinwanyebe, Aso Television News.
Now, the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mahmoud Adam Kambari, has reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to maintaining a strong working relationship with the Abuja Transportation and Aviation Correspondent Association, the ATA. Speaking during a courtesy visit by the members of the association in Abuja, Kambari assured journalists of continued cooperation and inclusive media engagement, saying the ministry would consider ATA representatives for participation in selected local and international official engagement, while urging the association to ensure transparency in nominations. The Permanent Secretary commended the association for its consistent media support to the ministry and the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, noting that efforts are ongoing to advance reforms in the aviation sector. He also disclosed plans for a ministerial press briefing to showcase key programs, policies and achievements of the ministry, pledging support for the association's annual conference scheduled for September 2026. Earlier, the ATA chairman, Ejike Omeje, sought the ministry's support for the association's annual seminar and requested an inclusion of members in official local and foreign trips to enhance aviation sector coverage. Now, the Director General of the non-government organization responsible for the campaign for President Bola Tinubu's re-election in 2027, known as Relax Tinubu is Fixing Nigeria, Mr. Bala Ahmed, has kicked off a nationwide registration exercise of members. The Director General, Mr. Bala Ahmed, made this known during the launch of the exercise in Abuja. Our correspondent Topsy Gimba has the details. We'll bring that to you in a subsequent bulletin. Let's move on now. Dr. Aisha Osheku, head of the Nursing Department, University of Abuja, has described basic life support, the BLS, as a vital aspect of the nursing profession. Dr. Osheku stated this while declaring open a 2-day training on basic life support and electrocardiography (ECG) organized as part of activities marking this year's Nursing Week at the University of Abuja Mini Campus, Gwagwalada, Abuja. Correspondent Abdullahi Mukhtar reports.
The 2-day training was organized by Care Corps Mega Concept Initiative in collaboration with the Nigerian Cardiac Society on Basic Life Support and ECG as part of activities marking this year's Nursing Week. Speaking to the participating student, the head of Nursing Department, University of Abuja, Dr. Aisha Oheaku, urged them to take full advantage of the opportunity. She reminded the student that basic life support is essential in the nursing profession, stressing that any mistake by a nurse could have serious consequences, including loss of life and emotional trauma for affected families.
Nursing is caring. We give holistic care not only to the sick, we think of even the ones that are behind the scene. So we believe that after this training, our students will be equipped to nurse their patients better off, both in emergency cases or in any other field.
Mrs. Madukwe Olusofoye, Basic Life Support Instructor and Chief Executive Officer of Care Corps Mega Concept Initiative, said the training was designed to equip nursing students with practical knowledge and skills in basic life support and ECG. She explained that basic life support is the first line of intervention for patients experiencing cardiac arrest and emphasized the need for healthcare professionals to be adequately trained in emergency response techniques.
So we're looking at how to do what we call CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, as well as how to give breath into somebody who needs that level of breath. And then to conclude it, we'll teach them how to carry out what we call electrocardiogram, ECG, helping to assess the working of the heart and what the state of the heart is in at that time.
Some of the students also spoke on the significance of the training and what it means to them as student nurses.
I just did an exercise just now and I think I've learned one or two. It really means a lot to me.
It's upgrading my CV, my experience, so it means a lot to me.
It's helped enlighten me about CPR, which is a first-line intervention for people with cardiac arrest.
The students later engaged in practical sessions where they were taught how to handle patients during emergencies, particularly the appropriate procedure during their first contact with patients. requiring urgent medical attention. At the end of the 2-day training, the nursing students are expected to be more confident in responding to emergencies, thereby improving the quality of healthcare delivery. Abdullahi Mukhtar, Aso Television News.
And now to other stories. The Chinese embassy in Nigeria partnered with the Federal Ministry of Youth Development on youth exchange seminar that brought together young people and stakeholders to strengthen bilateral ties and advance the vision of a China-Africa community with a shared future. Speaking at the event, Minister Councillor Zhou Haiyong said China recently introduced zero tariffs on products from 13 African countries and improved trade channels to increase African export to Chinese market. He urged young people from both countries to strengthen dialogue and transform ideas into tangible socio-economic benefits. He further urged Nigerians and Chinese youth to promote dialogue and mutual understanding and stronger cooperation between both countries, pledging that continued collaboration with Nigeria's Ministry of Youth Development to create more platforms for youth exchange and partnerships. Representing Minister of Youth and Sports Development, the Director Education and Youth Development, Despan Kwandam, said that growing opportunities for Nigerian youth through internship, employment, cultural exchanges and technology-driven initiative. Also, National Youth Service Corps participants were thrilled with discoveries about Nigeria and China cooperation, noting that technology is the way forward. If integrated in the educational system, it would court all corners of development in the country. The event held at the Chinese Cultural Center saw organizers pledging to sustain platforms that will translate youth empowerment and engagement into long-term economic and development. Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, has acknowledged the need to promote job creation through agricultural practices, noting that granting the youth access to land will facilitate their participation in agriculture. Speaking at the national launch of the Youth Agribusiness Land Trust Fund in Abuja, the minister commended the initiative as a major enabler of youth involvement in agriculture and its value chain, adding that the trust fund was a timely and strategic measure to address one of the most significant barriers to youth participation in agriculture's access to land, while stressing that agriculture must no longer be seen merely as a subsistence farming, but as a modern business sector capable of creating jobs, driving innovation, and strengthening the national economy. Senator Bagudu further explained that although Nigeria has vast agricultural potential, challenges related to land access, ownership structures, and inadequate coordination continue to constrain productivity and discourage long-term investment. The Youth Agribusiness Land Trust Fund is an initiative of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development in collaboration with the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, the IITA, to get more young Nigerians into agriculture. The program hopes to unlock land resources within the 42 national youth development centers across the nation for youth-led agribusiness, targeting 6 million Nigerian youth who are to be trained by the IIAT in modern agricultural, climate-smart farming, value chain opportunities, and agribusiness incubation. Still on business, the Central Bank of Nigeria has said that implementing a reform targeting 95% financial inclusion and faster than a blink digital transaction, bringing millions more market women, farmers, and young people into the formal financial system. He said by 2028, cash should no longer be king. He said they need to do a lot more work to build trust and enable people who have no doubt that they are dealing with a strong and reliable payment system. stating that payment system is only as strong as the trust people have in it, noting that by 2028 the vision is to reduce fraud losses to less than 1% of all transactions and make people's money safer in the digital system than under their mattresses. The Apex Bank governor, alongside other top CBN officials, explained that the document went beyond policy design, describing PSV 2028 as a blueprint for how Nigerians will transact, trade, save and participate in an increasingly digital economy. He described payment infrastructure as invisible roads that move money, that efficient systems are now central to economic growth, competitiveness and poverty reduction. Kadoso warned that against the country's long-standing start-stop policy cycle, insisting that execution, not documentation, will define success. He further stated that the success of this vision will not be measured by document, but execution. But that's it on Aso Briefing. Thank you for watching. I am Joy Annie. Good afternoon.